Good morning, everybody. Thanks for attending our webinar here, Rentley from Leads to Leases, Unifying Your Touring and Screening Processes. Glad to have everyone join today. We're excited to present some new and existing products here in the Rentley world. My name is Anthony Williams. I'm our Director of Business Development and Innovation at Rentley, and I'll let Andrew introduce himself.
Hi, guys. I'm Drew Kastenbaum here. I'm a senior screening sales engineer here at Rentley, and I'll be sharing the second half of this presentation with you guys as well. So go ahead and take it away, Anthony.
Perfect. What I'll do is we'll go through the slide deck. We'll take kind of all the questions in here and save questions for the end, and Drew and I will be able to answer as quickly as we can at the end. Try to save time for all those questions. So a little bit about us, Rentley, and who we are. Our mission, one, is to provide property managers and agents with best-in-class automation tools for leasing success. You know us from our inception as the self-guided tour lockbox company, but we do so much more. We serve our single-family, build-to-rent, multifamily, student housing, vacation and short-term rentals, corporate housing, senior living, and affordable housing. And amongst the lockboxes and self-guided tours, we also offer a leasing automation platform, enterprise smart home technology, our new renter and screening application tool, controlled building access, work order automation, security monitoring, and HVAC monitoring. In this presentation, we want to be able to help you optimize your leasing success, increase your lead to lease conversion rate. With vacancy rates rising in the industry, it's essential that your lead to lease funnel is airtight and optimized for leasing success, and we'll get into that in the next few slides. Today's webinar will highlight to improve your lead to lease conversion rates with new proven leasing automation tools. We'd like for you to utilize the latest technologies to capture renters at the peak of their interests, connect your touring and screening solutions, streamline your screening process, and prevent application fraud. So a few notes here, 2024 SFR trends. We're seeing vacancy rates expected to increase, the rise in new construction, more renters in the market, increased demand for property tours, and the need for higher emphasis on stronger tenant screening and new tools for preventing rental scams and fraud. Single family rentals are hot right now since home mortgage rates are high. 2024 is the strongest year for new apartment construction with an influx of new properties. So we're going to see a lot of vacant units, SFR and multifamily. The Sunbelt metros, Austin, Houston, Dallas, Raleigh, Charlotte, North Carolina, Nashville, Jacksonville, Orlando, Phoenix, and Salt Lake City are leading the charge in new construction. As a result, we expect the amount of new supply completing over the next 12 months will push the national vacancy rate up in 2024. We're seeing a shift towards long-term rentals over home ownership. That's with rising interest rates, all of that good stuff. More renters, which results in more renters in the market and more demand for vacant property marketing and self-guided tours. Companies are focusing on better ways to mitigate SFR risks, longer lease terms, higher emphasis on tenant screening, preventing rental scams and frauds, and cost control. We're seeing an increased demand for Rentley security tools, self-guided touring, and rental screening. These trends mean you must ensure your leads to lease funnel is airtight. So we want to go through kind of the renter journey within Rentley. Is your lead to lease funnel airtight? Our prospective renter journey must be smooth. We're looking for one seamless experience for increased conversions. You see here at the top of the funnel, our renters begin their search online. So the question we're asking you is, how are prospects finding your listings? We syndicate to multiple ILS services, Zillow, apartments.com, Redfin, just to name a few. Along that funnel, they get matched to several properties for them to tour. Do your leads match your rental criteria? We do have a new product that I'll discuss later called Verified Renter. What that is going to give you higher quality leads at the top of the funnel for your leasing team to prioritize who they're reaching out to, and also give your prospects a good sense of that they're already qualified for this home. Our prospects will schedule their tour online. Are you using any scheduling automation to save valuable staff time? And are you applying security measures before tours, making sure to reduce that scammer squatter through ID verification and our scam prevention mode? Once your prospect completes their self-guided tour, we want to ask the question, are you keeping them engaged? Are you nurturing them to convert scheduled notifications through the application when someone has scheduled a tour, pre and post tour surveys as well? And then at the peak of their interest, we want to prompt them to submit an application. How easy are you making it to submit an application right now? Are you able to connect your screening service to apply now? Additionally, we do have our own screening service. At the end, obviously, we want our applicants to go through a comprehensive tenant screening. Are you doing enough to prevent application fraud? We're seeing that a lot with fake documents, fake IDs, fake payroll statuses. We have partnered with Plaid, Persona, and TransUnion, and Drew will get through with that. What we're aiming to do is help you fill those potential holes that might exist in your funnel. Your funnel could look like this one above by taking the following steps with higher quality leads that are more likely to apply and convert. Additionally, we'd like for you to expand your marketing research, make it easy for renters to find available properties. Rently Listings is the #1 lead generation tool to reach renters who want to tour on demand. We receive 10 million visits annually just to Rently.com and activate 3+ million self-guided tours annually. This also increases traffic to your community by 25% by utilizing our listing sites as well as other products, Verified Renter, tenant screening. The pre-screening and stringent identity verification process matches renters to the properties they'll most likely qualify for. Here are some of our automated syndication partners. As you see, Zillow, Zumper, Apartments.com, Redfin, Rent, Apartment Guide, Homes, Apartment Home Living, Julia, PadMapper, HotPads, Realtor.com, Apartment List, Westside Rentals, Rentals.com, StreetEasy, Apartment Finder, and ForRent.com. I do see a question here that might help from Miss Erin Reed. How are you weeding out fake IDs? So with Verified Renter, we are requiring prospects that come through Rently.com to verify their identity. So as they apply, they're entering a bit of information, name, address, date of birth, and as well as social security number, and they will go through an IDMA question, where have you lived in the past, certain verification tools to say that this person is who they say they are. If they can't go through, if they don't go through the ID verification process, we will stop them from even touring if they cannot verify their identity. So this is upon scheduling a tour as well. We can automate your tour scheduling with, as we see in this slide, leasing automation tools accelerate leasing velocity. You can instantly respond to 100% of your leads through lead nurturing and eliminate up to 90% of repetitive leasing tasks while increasing lead engagement. You'd like to save valuable time, about 30 minutes per requested showing. You're saving about 90 hours in that. You could track leads through your funnel through the Rently portal and engage directly with them from the dashboard or through custom tags. As well as free your leasing team to focus on other key areas of the business. I will pass this on to Drew as well. And Aaron, we will get to all these questions at the end too, so we can make sure we cover all those.
Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, so again, I'm Drew Kastenbaum, a senior sales engineer here at Rently. Happy to kind of continue this for you guys, and just to kind of touch on some of the questions above, just even without verified rent on a basic ability for someone to go through a self-guided tour with us. And I'll touch on our security measures in just a second, but there is an ID scan that is followed by a selfie scan that our AI matches together. So that would really prevent weeding out fake IDs as well. So just to present kind of, the need and the problem that we're addressing with self-guided touring and offering multiple touring options at Rentley. As you can see here, it's critical to addressing the needs and desires of renters in today's market. As you can see on the numbers on the slide here, up to 86% of renters want to tour property before signing a lease, and almost half, 42% of the tours that are occurring are outside of regular business hours. So obviously, being able to tour before or after work or on the weekends is most convenient and most desirable for a renter, but it's least convenient for you. So being able to address this, this major concern and need really for renters in the market in a way that you can remain most operationally efficient is really going to be met with self-guided touring. So with self-guided touring, now this is really the ability for a prospect to go ahead, schedule a tour immediately at the peak of their interest at a time that's most convenient to them. And, at Rentley, we're able to provide this option for you in a safe, secure fashion with a series of security measures in place to prevent fraud and crime from occurring at your property. Now, first and foremost, we will go ahead and scan their credit card using authorize.net and ensuring its legitimacy. And then second, we'll go ahead and scan that driver's license to ensure the same. Finally, we'll go ahead and have the applicant go ahead and perform a selfie scan, holding their phone up to their face and doing a full scan of their head. And our AI will go ahead and match that facial scan to the driver's license to ensure that it's the correct person that's going to be going ahead and touring your property. Now, when they actually arrive at your property, they're going to have to turn on the location on their phone and ensure that they are within a close proximity of your property in order to receive that code to go ahead and enter. So it's not the person going through these security measures, the credit card, facial scan, the driver's license scan, is the same person that is going to be arriving at your property, and not someone that's going to go through those measures, receive a code, and then text it to someone out of state. So they have to actually be there at the property to receive that code and go through that tour. Now, to complement self-guided touring, we also offer agent-guided touring. So agent-led tours, we're able to go ahead and automate this touring process, even for those of you who want to show properties in person and have that personal touch. So we're able to go ahead and sync your this directly to your calendar, still allowing you to go ahead and capture those leads at the peak of their interest. So, the applicant still sees your listing. They're able to go ahead and schedule that tour at a time of their choosing. Obviously, if your competition is not doing that, this is allowing for you to get a step up from anyone is relying on staff coordination. So we're eliminating that staff coordination that's, getting with the applicant, reaching back out. Sometimes it could take hours, sometimes days. It's a huge leg up to be able to have them at the peak of their interest, go ahead and schedule a time immediately on your calendar. So even if it's not self-guided, you're showing them, we're still able to expedite that process and streamline that, eliminating that coordination. That's not only time consuming for your staff, but also delays that process for the prospect. It's a great option to go ahead and complement self-guided tours, especially for prospective renters that might want that personal touch. So if someone reaches out and they don't want to perform that self-guided tour, which is rare, it's not something that we hear a lot, but I obviously you guys are talented at what you do, and having that personal touch, when needed, is something that can be an excellent complement for those self-guided tours we just discussed. Now, a real natural continuation from what we're offering here with regard to all of this lead management and self-guided showing and agent showing. It does lead us to that application process, obviously. So we have here a great ability to have that automated lead follow-up that we offer with automated messages sent directly after a self-guided tour. Not only can request feedback from the applicant, but also can throw in that request to, hey, if you enjoyed the property, please click here to apply and start applying with Rently application. Now, with Rently application, Rently tenant screening, we're able to go ahead and provide a really hands-off, streamlined way to go ahead and screen tenants. That's also going to provide a really high degree of verification, the highest level of verification you're going to see on the market. So as you see here, really 6 different levels of verification we're seeing. So that's going to start with that ID verification. That first layer is done immediately before starting that application. There'll be a pop-up that appears where they're able to go ahead and scan their driver's license, and then followed by that, performing that selfie scan. Now, for those that have already gone through self-guided touring, we've made this a really streamlined process, eliminated the redundancy of having to do that twice. Obviously, they had to do that before even being able to perform that self-guided tour, complete that tour with those security measures. So we've eliminated that, and up to 30% of the application actually be pre-filled for those that go through self-guided touring. But for those that haven't, there'll just be a pop-up that appears. They're able to go ahead, scan that driver's license with their phone, hold their phone up to their face, perform that selfie scan so it's the correct person. We can really verify that identity before they're able to go ahead and get started with the application. Now, they'll go ahead through that application, and it'll soon lead to the next level of verification, which is really the chief concern and really the chief reason of why we're offering Rently tenant screening. And that is really the huge significant uptick in financial fraud that we're seeing across the market, with prospective renters and applicants manipulating pay stubs and other financial documents that are done in a PDF upload, which is unfortunately the method that people are using to verify income with a lot of tools out there. Now, obviously, people are only getting better at being able to manipulate PDFs and these online documents. So we wanted to be able to address this issue, not only to protect you from that financial fraud and, God forbid, a time-consuming, messy, expensive eviction down the road, and that obviously is the chief concern. But what we're really looking to do, in addition to that, at Rently, is going along with everything else that we've discussed here, is making you more operationally efficient. What we've been hearing from our clients, and we work with over 4,000 operators across the country. We've been hearing, with this significant uptick, the way that they're addressing it is having to meticulously scan each and every one of these pay stubs and financial documents. And if they see anything concerning, then it sets off a process of having to reach out to an applicant, having to request additional documentation, having to wait for an applicant to upload additional documentation, and then having to scan that meticulously, which is still not perfect. And this is a painstaking, tedious, slow process as well. And in looking to eliminate that, what we came up with as a great addition to this tool is the ability to actually dive into their bank account, or the applicant's bank account, and pull out income summaries and also income sources to offer a real, true, bulletproof income and employment verification that you can trust. It's immediate. You'll get those results within seconds of them completing the application. There's no back and forth. And again, you can be able to trust that information. It can't be manipulated directly from their bank account and move on. Now, they'll complete that application, and you'll be able to receive our third and final layer of verification, which is going to be our TransUnion credit, criminal background, and eviction history report, as well as that bankruptcy report. So again, all these reports as well, instantly generated. This is a very quick, streamlined tool, fastest you're going to see really on the market. And again, we partner with great partners like TransUnion, Plaid, in order to receive these income and credit and criminal verifications. Also, in addition to that, I saw some of you guys are using AppFolio for screening. I'm assuming you're using AppFolio, and some are probably using Buildium as your PMS. We have great plugins available to be able to automate and send that information directly over into your PMS immediately after the completion of their tenant screening. So you're not having to manually re-enter things as well. So not only are you getting a top-of-the-line screening tool, but we're also able to automate and ship that information directly into your PMS as well. Now, just to reiterate, obviously, screenings are critical. This is probably the most critical juncture that we're seeing, as 3/4 of landlords are blaming bad leasing experiences with inaccurate screening reports, and this is the point where we're seeing the most fraud occurring. This is where we're seeing falsifying pay stubs and documents. I mean, this is something people are seeing across the board, and I think we're really only on the precipice of this. As technology increases, this is going to be an issue that it needs to be addressed across the market. So having a top of the line tool like this is really a necessity, and is only going to be more so as we move forward. So that really concludes our presentation. If you have any additional questions, we'd be happy to answer.
And I know we have a few in there already. So the fake IDs, I do that with upon applying or scheduling a tour. I think we did answer that one. What about people who aren't comfortable providing their SS number just to view a home? Great question, Aaron. And what we saw during our A/B test and during this period where we've launched Verified Renter currently this month, you do see some drop off. There are people that aren't comfortable providing their social security number, but that number is not as big as you might think. I do believe it was about a 25% drop off. And after that, everyone that goes through providing that, their conversion rate is a lot higher until they make a payment. We do charge a little bit higher for those going through Verified Renter. It is $11.99. But those that do go through and pay, we are seeing a good, they're more likely to stick with that home, especially if they're qualified. Obviously, if they're not qualified, that changes the dynamic, but we do utilize AI matching through Verified Renter that says you may not qualify for this home, but you can see other matches to homes that you do qualify for. Additionally, they do have the option to invite roommates or any guarantor, someone that could qualify. Additional question. Do you have any issues with the new Arizona licenses? Not that I'm aware of. Drew, I'll let you.
No, I haven't encountered, I don't believe we've encountered any issues with the new Arizona licenses. And as far as location enabling, I don't believe we've had any issues with our tool with regard to multifamily properties as well. So, I mean, I'd be happy to get further confirmation on that, but I don't believe we've had any issues regarding that.
Location enabling has been proven difficult to multifamily complexes in some case. The phone can't tell why they are at the right door. Any comments on that? Drew, you were probably
that's what I was just commenting on. Yeah, I don't believe we've had any issues with regard to that.
Okay.
But
multiple applicants, roommates, only one scheduled a tour. Aaron, if you could type in can you just tell me a little bit more what you're asking there for the question about multiple applicants / roommates? Am I able to access and download IDs that are uploaded for touring when converted to an application? Drew, you want to take that
one? Yeah, I believe at the on that report that you're gonna receive, that's accessible within seconds of them completing that application, there will be a copy of the license at the bottom of the first tab, which is going to be the fully completed rental application. The other tabs are going to be that income report from Plaid directly from their bank account, followed by the credit report, the criminal background report, and then the eviction history report after that. But that ID should be on that first tab. Right at the bottom of the fully completed rental application, there'll be a copy of that for you to have for your filing.
Yeah. And is available in the Rently Manager dashboard when they go through the tour. Operators we work with in AZ, we work with large enterprise institutions all the way down to SMB. We do have a lot of clients in Arizona. PDF documents, yes, correct. No plugin for promos. I don't believe so. Does the tenant have to provide a bank account number to check their income? When they log into Plaid, they will use their bank credentials to log in to sync with the bank. So they're not essentially providing a bank account number, and the information that comes through, it is a limited bank account number. You should probably see like the last 4 digits, and you'll see deposit history.
Yeah, they'll just have to log into their online banking essentially. So they're not having to provide information that should make them feel uncomfortable at all. And again, it'll say Plaid right there on top. So I think there's such a high degree of applicant familiarity with Plaid and trust there, along with the real ease of use of the process, where they're really just logging into their online banking and selecting an account they want to showcase their income. They get through this process in seconds. I think the ease of use combined with that familiarity with Plaid has led to there being really virtually no pushback from the applicant side so far about this being too invasive or anything like that. So they don't have to provide that bank account number.
Yep. This question from Keith: what is the cost for screening, credit reports, Plaid, bank verification? Keith, you could send an email to me or Andrew. I don't know if I could type here, but feel free to reach out to your CSM too, and we can set up a demo and talk through all of that as well. PDF, and then you don't have a bank account. So those that don't have online banking, we are currently in process. I don't have a set date on someone being able to log into their payroll provider. If they don't have either, we'll kind of push back on your operational decision for someone that might be claiming that they're paid in cash or don't have online banking. Any other questions, thoughts, comments? Wonderful. Feel free to reach out to your CSM. If you don't have one, go to use.rentley.com as well to request a demo, indicate that you're interested in screening, and we'll get you set up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.